Good day, Junior Tikkies. I'm Mrs. Brimacombe. We're going to look now at activity 4. This is a combined activity which includes the cash receipts journal and the cash payment journal of a service business. You are provided with the information from Beauty Professionals for March 2024. The business is owned by Trudy Ford. The business charges the following for services rendered. So again, there's a reason why they give you this information. Whenever we render a service, we need to look at what type of service did we render so that we know what is the cost of that service. Required, record the transactions in the correct subsidiary book for March 2024, and then indicate the influence that each of the following transactions will have on the accounting equation. So we're not going to look at all of them. We're only going to look at some of them. Transaction 1, 4, 5, 7, 18, and 27. Right. So the first step is to sort out all the transactions so that we can see what goes into the cash receipts journal and what goes into the cash payment journal. Once you've sorted that out, then we're going to complete the cash receipts journal and then the cash payment journal. Again, in whichever way you would like to approach it, it's up to you. If you want to start with day 1 and completing the CRJ and the CPJ at the same time, that is 100% correct. For explanation purpose, I'm going to break it down by first sorting it out, then completing the CRJ, and then the CPJ. Now remember, there's keywords to identify so that you are able to know what goes into the CRJ and what goes into the CPJ. Always remember these steps. Number 1, identify the type of transaction. Was this a cash receipt or cash payment? Number 2, identify the source document. And then number 3, identify which journal. On day 1, Trudy Ford had 800,000 in her personal investment account. She decided to increase her capital. So whenever you see increased capital, you should know that goes into your CRJ. And then they also said, issued a receipt. A receipt will always appear in the cash receipts journal. On day 4, bought a new multifunction dryer. So keyword, paid via online, bought new, that means CPJ. Day 5, services rendered, CRJ. Day 7, withdrew money from the current bank account, CPJ. Paid the weekly wages, CPJ. Day 12, issued a cash register slip to a customer for the following services, rendered. So when we issue a cash register, it means that services were rendered and the business is going to receive money. That goes into the cash receipts journal. On the same day, bought shampoo and conditioner from Hair Traders, 3,400. EFT 77. An EFT payment was made. This means cash payment journal. Day 14. Paid the weekly wages by EFT. The employees received a 6.5% increase. If a payment is made, it goes into your CPJ. Day 15. Money received from a senior stylist cut and finish as per cash register roll. Keywords, money received, cash register roll, CRJ. The salon is also used by Betty, who is a nail technician. Betty agreed to pay Trudy commission on all the manicures done and rent. Received an EFT. So now the business received a payment which was made electronically into our bank account. That goes into your cash receipts journal. Day 18, bought the following, paid by EFT, CPJ. Day 21, paid the weekly wages, CPJ. Issued proof of payment to Fast Plumbing to pay for repairs done, CPJ. On the same day, day 21, cash received, services rendered, CRJ. Day 25, the bank statement from ABSA reflected the following. Remember that your bank statement will reflect money coming in and money going out. Interest on credit balance, 125. So this is what makes it now challenging. If you do not understand how does a bank statement work, remember in the previous chapter we said bank statement, there was an activity specifically on that. When you see a credit entry happy face, it means money came into your business. Money was deposited into your business bank account. You have a favorable bank balance. Debit means sad, money went out. So if it says credit, that is happy face. It means that the business received money, cash receipts journal. Bank charges, CPJ. Debit order, CPJ. Debit order, CPJ. A reminder, a debit order is an instruction to someone, a third party, that money may be deducted from my account at the end of the month so that I can pay them. I don't have to do it myself then. That money will come automatically off my bank account. So it's a lot more convenient. Day 27, received an internet transfer for commission from Betty, CRJ. Day 28, made an electronic transfer to pay the weekly wages, CPJ. Day 30, number of transactions that happened on day 30. Made an EFT payment to City Council, CPJ. Made an electronic transfer to, as a donation, CPJ. Cash received for services rendered, that is the CRJ. So once you've sorted out all these transactions into which journal it needs to go to, now we can complete the CRJ. So we start off with day 1. Trudy Ford had 800,000 in her personal investment account. She decided to increase her capital contribution by contributing 30% of her investment towards the business. Issued receipt 98. So we start off with, on day 1, document, duplicate receipt 98. From who did we receive the money? Trudy Ford. And now there's a calculation involved. 800,000 times 50% means that she deposited 240,000 from her own money into the business current account. How much did we deposit at the end of the day? 240,000 into our bank account. Why did we receive the money? Because of capital. Day 5, services rendered amounted to 10,600. On day 5, cash register roll. From who? Services rendered. How much? 10,600. At the end of the day, we draw a line. How much should we deposit into our bank account? 10,600. For what reason? Fee income. Day 12. Issued a cash register slip to a customer for the following services rendered: senior stylist cut and blow wave, long tint and Brazilian. So they gave you the price for each item, so you didn't need to go and look at the list of prices that was given. We start with the business received money on day 12. My source document as proof as evident, cash register roll. For what reason? For services rendered, but now I need to add that together. In total, the business received 2,800. There was no other transactions on day 12, so we draw a line. How much should we deposit in our bank account? 2,800. For what reason? For fee income. Day 15. Money received for a senior stylist cut and finish as per cash register roll. The transaction happened on day 15. My source document is cash register roll. We've received the money because of services rendered. How much should we receive? So we had to check stylist cut and finished is 500. For what reason? For fee income. On the same day, another transaction took place. Received an EFT from Betty to pay the monthly rent. Rent amounts to 48,000 per annum. So the business received money, which means that the source document that we use is bank statement. But the rent was given per annum. She only paid her monthly rent, which means we have to divide it by 12. From who did we receive the money? From Betty. And now because this money was received directly or by EFT, it means that it goes straight to bank. For what reason? For rent income. So if you look at two transactions happened on the same day, but that transaction, the money we've received from Betty, is directly in our bank account. So this means we have to just draw a line for the cash register roll. How much did we receive during the day? 500. How much did we deposit in our bank account? 500. Day 21. Cash received for services rendered, 18,000. Cash register roll, my source document number. On day 21, from who did I receive the money? Services rendered, analysis of receipt, 18,000. It's the only transaction on that day, so you draw a line. How much should we deposit in our bank account? 18,000. For what reason? For fee income. On day 25, the bank statement from ABSA reflected the following: interest on credit balance, source document, bank statement, day 25. From who? ABSA Bank. How much? 125. For what reason? Interest on current account. On day 27, two transactions happened on the same day. Received an internet transfer for commission from Betty, 8,170. The source document that we use is bank statement. There's no EFT in the cash receipts journal. It is only bank statement if money is received electronically. On what day did it happen? Day 27. From who did we receive the money? From Betty. How much did we receive? 8,170 under bank. For what reason? This is commission income. You have to write the word income after the commission. On the same day, money received from a customer for one gents cut and one short turned. There's no mistake there. The figure, you need to calculate it. How much does this customer owe you? We start with the source document, cash register roll. One gents cut is 280 and short turned is 760. So the two added together for services rendered means that this customer paid 1,040. We draw a line. How much did we deposit in our bank account? 1,040. For what reason? Fee income. On day 30, cash received for services rendered, 16,380. So we start with the date, source document, cash register roll. From who? Services rendered. How much? 16,380. We draw a line. How much did we deposit in our bank account? 16,380. For what reason? For fee income. Now we can close this journal by adding all the totals. Next, our CPJ. A reminder, we sorted out all the transactions, what goes into the CRJ, the CPJ, then we completed the CRJ, now we're going to complete the CPJ. Day 4, bought a new multifunction dryer from AliExpress and paid via online banking 5,900 before 5% discount was received. So this is now again one of those more challenging type of transactions where we need to find out, but how much did we pay AliExpress after the discount? Trade discount is paid less on items purchased, and we never ever show the trade discount amount. We only show how much did we pay after it. So there's two ways of going about this. You can, number one, say 5,900 and times it by 5% and then subtract it from 5,900, or you can say the original amount is equal to 100%. minus 5% means that we're only going to pay 95% of the total amount. So there's two ways to get to exactly the same answer. We start off with the source document is bank statement. On day 4, who did we pay? AliExpress. How much did we pay? 5,605. For what reason? This multifunction dryer would form part of our equipment. On day 7, withdrew money from the current bank account for the following cash register, petty cash. And then on the same day, paid the weekly wages. So the first part of this transaction, our source document is ATM. On day 7, cash. How much cash did we draw in total? 2,000 was for cash float. 500 was for the petty cash. In total, 2,500 were withdrawn from the ATM. On the same day, paid the weekly wages, EFT number 76. Details, cash, how much? 7,000. For what reason? Wages. Day 12. Bought shampoo and conditioner from Hair Traders, 3,400 and paid via EFT. Source document, EFT. Day 12. Who did we pay? Hair Traders. How much did we pay? 3,400. For what reason? That shampoo and conditioner will form part of our consumable stores. It's that which we consume in the business. Day 14. Paid the weekly wages by EFT. The employees received a 6.5% increase. We start with EFT number 78. On day 14, cash. Now there's a calculation involved. If my employees were paid 7,000 wages and they receive a 6.5% increase, again, there's two ways in which we can calculate this. I can either say 7,000 times 6.5% and then add it to that 7,000, or we can say 7,000 times 106.5 divided by 100. It will give us exactly the same answer. Now you would notice I said 1.065. If you take 106.5 divided by 100, that's what it will equal. It gives you exactly the same answer. We paid 7,455 for what reason? For wages. Day 18. Bought the following from GH Suppliers and paid by EFT. So we purchased two different things from the same supplier. I start off with the source document number, EFT number 79. On day 18, who did we pay? GH Suppliers. For what reason? Shampoo and conditioning will be my consumable stores, and the shears and scissors will be part of my equipment. In total, we add the two together to see how much we have paid GH Suppliers. Day 21. Paid the weekly wages by EFT. EFT number 80. Day 21. Who did we pay? Cash. 7,455. So we don't need to tell you the amount. Our weekly wages stayed the same now. After the increase, how much do we owe them? For what reason did we pay? Wages. On the same day, issued proof of payment to Fast Plumbing for $850 to pay for repairs done. Now my source document is bank statement. Fast Plumbing, who did we pay? Fast Plumbing, how much did we pay? $850. For what reason? This will now be written as repairs. This is an expense to the business. Day 25. there's a few things that happened on day 25. One, the bank charges. So we start with source document, bank statement. Day 25, who did we pay? Absa Bank. How much did we pay? 398. For what reason? Bank charges. On the same statement, a debit order in favor of Telkom. So bank statement, how much did we pay Telkom? 3,500, but now it says 2,800 is for the business telephone account and the remainder for the owner's personal telephone account. So of that 3,500, 2,800 is the business expense, and that's why it's shown as telephone, and the difference, personal expense, which goes into drawings. I don't care what the owner takes for personal use, it must be shown as drawings. Then we also had a debit order in favor of OUTsurance, 2,680 to pay the monthly insurance. We don't need to write the date again. Our source document is bank statement. Just be very careful that you don't write it in that line, in the same line as the 700. Otherwise, you're going to get it wrong. Who did we pay? OUTsurance. How much? 2,680. For what reason? This was for the monthly insurance, so insurance is our expense. On day 28, made an electronic transfer to pay the weekly wages. Source document, EFT, day 28. Who did we pay? Cash, 7,455. For what reason? For wages. Next transaction, on day 30, made an EFT payment to City Council, 1,300 for rates and taxes, and 3,400 for water and electricity. On the same day, made an electronic transfer to Kruger Children's Home as a donation, 5,000. Two transactions on the same day, two different things. So we must show it separately. We start off day 30, EFT number 82, who did we pay? City Council, for what reason? So the first transaction was for two different items, one rates and taxes, and second for the water and electricity. So in total, we paid them 4,700. Now again, make sure that you don't write the next transaction in that line. It must leave that line open. Otherwise, you're going to get it wrong. So then we made another payment to Kruger Children's Home. How much? 5,000. For what reason? This is a donation. So that's an expense to the business. We donated. We gave back to the community. It's part of our corporate social responsibility, giving back. So once we are done with all the transactions in the CPJ, our final step is to add all the columns. That means starting from bank, wages, consumables, and everything under sundry accounts. If you've done this process correctly and you add these totals together, it should equal bank. And why do I say it should equal your bank? From the CPJ, bank is always credited. The rest is going to be debited. The next part of this transaction or question is completing the accounting equation. We start off with day 1. There were two transactions on day 1. First, the business received money. If the business receives money, bank is always debited. The rest is credited. So capital was credited. Bank is regarded as a current asset, which will increase. And now we need to say 800,000 times 50%. Capital will increase on the credit side. It will increase your owner's equity. Nothing happened with liabilities. Sorry, there were only one transaction on day 1. On day 4, bought a new multifunction dryer, AliExpress, and paid online banking via online banking 5,900. So reminder, we said you can either say 5,900 times 5% and then subtract it, or you could have just said 5,900 times 95%. From the CPJ, bank is always credited, the rest is going to be debited. That means equipment will be debited, both is classified as an asset. To be more specific, equipment is a non-current asset and bank is a current asset. That's why your assets will be plus minus. And then nothing happened with owner's equity, nothing with liabilities. On day 5, services rendered amounted to 10,600. From the CRJ, bank is always debited. If the business receives money, bank is always debited. It means that fee income will be credited. Assets plus 10,600. Owner's equity plus 10,600. Nothing happened with your liabilities. Day 7. Withdrew money from the current bank account for the following. Now reminder, in the CPJ, we said in total we withdrew 2,500. For what reason? For the cash register, cash float, and petty cash 500. When we do it on the accounting equation, do it separately. We start off with bank is credited, account debited, cash float. Both is a current asset, plus minus 2,000. Nothing happened with owner's equity and nothing with liabilities. Then we go on to the next one. We drew cash, bank is credited. For the petty cash is debited. Both classified as a current asset, that's why plus minus 500. Nothing happened with owner's equity, nothing with liabilities. Then on the same day, paid the weekly wages. From the CPJ, bank is always credited. If money is paid out from our bank account, bank is always credited. Account debited, wages. Bank is a current asset. That's why it's minus. Money went out of our bank account. Because my expense will increase, it will have a negative effect on the owner's equity, and nothing happened with my liabilities. Day 18. Bought the following from GH Suppliers and paid by EFT. Account credit, bank, a payment was made. For what? Consumable stores, assets minus owner's equity minus liabilities, nothing. Remember, it must be the amount and the sign. Then we've also purchased on the same day from the same person. We've purchased equipment, so therefore bank is credited, equipment debited, assets plus minus 1,200, nothing with owner's equity, nothing with liabilities. Day 27. Received an internet transfer for commission from Betty, 8,170. And then on the same day, money received from a customer for 1 gents cut and 1 short tint. So the first part of this transaction, money was received, therefore bank is debited, account credited, commission income. Assets plus 8,170, owner's equity plus. Liabilities, nothing. Reminder, customer paid for gents cut, 280, plus short tint, 760, bank debited, account credited, fee income, assets plus 1,040, owner's equity plus 1,040, liabilities, nothing. Thank you very much. I want to leave you with this quote. All students can learn and succeed, but not on the same day in the same way. Have a wonderful day.